favor on your mission. Yeah, walls closing in that record speed. Hoping to see a harvest soon. We sow several seeds. Unashamed, ask if I believe. I say yes indeed. Bible talk. If the combo ain't holy, I'm less intrigued. Never look down on my people. I'm trying to lift them up. When we gon' put our foot down? We been kicked enough. I refuse to sit back and complain when it's a savior that can break every shackle and chain, and the father that can part the sea. Hold the tide back.
Welcome to the channel. This is Donatello, and we're back with another stream, and we're going to talk about COA. But before I get started, I just want to make sure you're aware of these safety practices. Make sure you follow them just for your safety. Stay safe in DeFi. Another thing is follow me on Twitter, which is X. I don't have that pulled up, but if you can go to Twitter and go to Donatello Invest. You also can subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Donatello Investing, and you can catch these videos, these updates, especially about COA and many other things I'm talking about. I did write a few books, and I am one that has been in DeFi for a while, so I understand the industry pretty well. So if you want to gain some of this knowledge that I have about crypto and DeFi, make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out some of my latest videos. We do at least one video a week. We also do a stream a week, live stream. Probably won't be doing it this week, but for majority of the weeks we do that. So we'll do one and just get towards one specific project, and then we'll talk about the industry overall on the live stream. And if there's anything you would like me to talk about or look into and maybe talk about on the live stream, make sure you put it in the comment below, hit the like button, and again, subscribe to the channel. So we're going to continue our part 2 of City of Atlantis. But before we start that, I want you to check out this video. And it's a really small clip, but we're going to look at it and we're going to talk about it a little bit.
Blockchain will change the music industry.
The big concert that you promote 3 years from now, every one of those tickets to get into it is going to be an NFT. That artist, the Dua Lipa of the moment, is going to have a ticket in NFT form, not in paper or digital QR scan. People are going to go to the show, and then you know what's going to happen? People are going to take the NFT and sell it for $6 as a collectible. You know what else is going to happen? Dua Lipa is going to make 60 cents on every one of those transactions after the show in perpetuity.
Now blockchain.
So music and blockchain is going to change the game. And I wanted to show that because we're talking about COA. COA is tapping into the music industry and the industry overall when it comes to entertainment, music, retail, all that stuff. So they're tapping into that, and it's a lot of money to be accumulated and gained from this industry. I think this industry can also create generational wealth being done the right way. And I think they're doing it the right way because they're taking their time. They're really doing the studying on it and building it out. This has been a long journey project. I would say a marathon, because they've been building slowly, little at a time. And as innovation comes, as research comes, they tend to restructure things for the better of what they're building here. So last stream on part 1, we went down and we got to this area talking about COA operating systems, and we're going to dig a little further down. I'm not going to make this video super long. We'll probably talk about it for maybe 30 minutes, and then we'll do a part 3. So it's going to be many different parts because it is a lot to talk about in COA. So we're going to start with art production systems. The art production system is administered through the Art DApp. Art is short for Atlantis royalties and residual token. The Arts DApp is the blockchain end of the production system. This framework that will enable high level productivity in the script to screen pipeline of entertainment production. The art meta licensing DApp utilizes art production credits, which are NFTs. These NFTs power entertainment production in the real world. Investors purchase art production credits and become virtual producers. Different producer levels exist based on the amount of production credits held. The higher the number of credits held, the higher the production influence and ROI. So the more credits you earn, the pretty much the bigger share of ownership you have. So this is talking about becoming pretty much part of the ownership part. So right now, I would say you have your record labels, you have your producers, you have all these different aspects of arts and production. And the average Joe and Jane, even though they would be considered sponsors or individuals that invest into this stuff, they don't get to receive really majority of the reward. The only thing they receive, they receive some rewards. They get to enjoy the music and entertainment. But for the most part, when we're talking about the industry overall, you buy, you get to enjoy the product, but there is no return coming back to you in that aspect. But with this side of things, I always look at blockchain as ownership. So how I look at it, blockchain is giving people back the ownership that they deserve. So this allows you to be owner in music, entertainment, and all that stuff. And you get to receive royalties. So again, you're a part owner in that once you invest in it. But your share of that ROI is dependent on how many credits is held. So just keep that in mind. And there'll be a lot more information out on this, but we're just going to talk about what's here. The role of the virtual producer is to create a catalog of content. Virtual producers use the art DApp to contribute during pre and post production on the DApp. They are also able to monitor assets, analytics, ROIs earned, and production credits. The goal of production system is to monetize audience attention through sales and products and services. So you become a producer. You get to become a producer and receive the rewards off the production. So you pretty much you're investing in the early phase and the future phase of what could come out of this product, whether it's music, whether it's web, whether it's some kind of stream, whether it's some kind of movie. You get to become an investor and get to see that happen. You also get to watch the process. You get to see the analytics. You get to see your earned ROI. And then another thing, and it'll probably get more into this eventually, is that with these entertainment and these products of entertainment, you have your sales side. And I think we might talk about that next. And that's where you use the advertisement to be able to produce some of these products to the consumers. So right now, you have your artists, right? Your artists, they do a music video, or you might have a show or a movie that showcase products. And what happens if people see these products enough, they'll be enticed to want to find and buy these products. So that's where COA is going to come in and kind of bring the two together to help with the product sales, but also when it comes to the music, you're going to be able to push the music out too in a different way and bring the value to the people. The product systems are connected to real-world companies called Art Global. Art Global has two divisions, which is the Parabolic Brand Entertainment and the Q330 Network. So the Parabolic Brand Entertainment is an e-commerce driven record label that manages all aspects of music production and distribution. It integrates products and services into music videos to give customers a unique experience while shopping online. Again, you're merging the products from the e-commerce side with the videos or the entertainment, merging the two, so that as a consumer, I get to see the product being worn and all that good stuff. And if I deem it to be something that I want, then I can go get it. Parabolic Brand Entertainment is managed by industry professionals. Their job duties include integrating music catalogs, merchandise, hiring talent, liaising with production studios, managing music quality and output, and assessing audience feedback. The final products are distributed and merchandised through DSPs such as Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music. So the Parabolic Brand Network also takes care of, well, I would say it's the layer of what we would consider the music side of things. When it comes to everything music, merchandising, hiring talent, production studios, music quality input and output, assessing audience feedback. So again, there's going to be some analytical aspects to this too, so that there's a assessment going on through the process to see what's working and probably what's not. And yeah, so I would say that there's going to be a combined, so you have this layer of Parabolic, which is also going to feed itself to Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music, so to pull in that audience, I would say. And when you combine these two, that's a big, really big audience. And I wouldn't be surprised eventually if Twitter X is probably in this too, because of what they're building. And this kind of gives an overview of the DAP. You know, it looks pretty much, you could say, like Apple Music or Spotify or whatever. So again, this is not saying that it's going to be the final look, but it kind of gives you that real life look at it. Q330 Networks is digital entertainment company focused on brand integrated web, TV, and film production. So this is where we have the film, TV, the film production, and the web TV. This is where this side. So you have Q330 is focused on more film and web, and then we have Parabolic is more focused on the music side. Its distribution model involves partnership with existing well-known channels on cable TV, YouTube, and other video streaming platforms. These channels already have engaged audiences, providing a ready market for our shows. Individual shows will be aligned with partner channels at the existing core audience to ensure product market fit. Shows will be programmed on a weekly, fortnightly, or monthly schedule. These model gives us widespread access to multiple fan bases, providing unique opportunities for more effective product merchandising. Q330 is also managed by industry professionals who coordinate content production and operations. Their job duties include integrating content catalogs and merchandising, hiring talent, liaison products. So kind of the same thing as Parabolic, but again, this is focused on web, TV, and film. Q330 is similar to Parabolic in that it utilizes digital content for product merchandising. They differ based on their distribution models, levels of production, and staff structure. So that's how they differ, but they're the same in some type of way. I like also that with this Q3030 and parabolic, they're building a new layer, but they're using existing layers. So meaning right here, parabolic, you have Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Music. They're going to use these brands that already exist, that already have a huge use case, and bring in parabolic into these systems. And then you have the Q3030, which is the web TV film production, which is a new layer, but they're going to be using existing platforms that already have huge following and huge users to bring into this aspect of Q3030, which is good because it will give COA overall more users over time because more people become aware of this Q3030. And they'll be wanting to know, or even parabolic or COA overall, they'll be wanting to know what is this thing, and then that brings people down into this rabbit hole to be able to dig just to find out what's going on. As a virtual producer, you have the direct role in the real world production of music and content. Production is managed by DAOs, by purchasing production credits. You are part of a production DAO where you go to work and are involved in project management. Your levels of influence, recognition, and compensation is based on the amount of production credits you own. So as a production DAO, you can pretty much turn this into a job in a way. So you can become a virtual producer where you can wake up every day and actually go in here and produce credits by doing some work as a production DAO, a virtual producer. So that's amazing. I'm interested to see how that's going to work. Will it pay out based on your investment in time and in money? Or is it just based on money? Or can it just be based on time? Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe money can outweigh the time, or time can outweigh the money. That's going to be interesting. I don't know what the idea. Maybe they'll talk about it later on, but that's an interesting take. So this is kind of their little diaphragm. You have your merchandising, you have your production, you have your crypto, and you have your content, and they're all gonna kind of work together. If you see, they're all connected in some way, form, or manner. So the ATL construction systems. The ATL construction systems is administered through Atlantis tokenized lands, which is the ATL DApp. ATL facilitates virtual mining, stockpiling of resources. These resources are used to build tourist destinations and support arts, entertainment, and cultures in the real world. Maybe I can I'll just give a brief outlook on what I know to be something that they're doing. So we have, in today's world, we have virtual worlds, right? We have worlds where how would I say it? Where I know my daughter, she likes to put on her Oculus, right? So she goes into this virtual world and she has this experience. It's a digital experience in the real world, pretty much. But she's still in the real world. What COA is probably doing different that I see is they have a real world that's been developed, and then they have a virtual world that's been developed. Now, from what I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that this real world that they're developing is going to be a replica of the virtual world. So, say for instance, they're building land, they're building not land, they're building a city or a district or a town or whatever you would consider it to be. It's going to be a private land. And in order to get access into this land, you need I think it's called something else. It's not that ATL. It's, let me see. I want to make sure I get it right. It's the EBTs. So you're gonna need EBTs, which is the ecosystem value token. Not mistaken, I think it's EBTs. Yeah, I think it's the EBTs. See, I think they're kind of the ATL is, yeah, I think it's the EBTs. If I'm not mistaken, because I know they changed the terminology. It was, ATLs were supposed to be that thing, but I think they changed the EBTs. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But that's kind of what I think. But I know for sure you're gonna need something, and it's gonna be like, I would say, like your key to the city. So if you have ownership within the city, you have a key to access the city. If you don't have a key to the city, you don't have access to the city. So, and they may have it to where the average person may have access to the city, but they will have to pay a fee to get in, which might cause them to have to invest into getting the key to the city. But what I know is that you'll be able to go in this digital world and get the full experience. You'll also be able to go in the physical aspect of this world and get the full experience. And they're supposed to replicate each other. So if there's an event happening in the city, the event will be happening also online in the digital world. So you'll be able to tune in from digital or from in person. I think that's kind of the object of what they're developing. Again, if I'm wrong, please correct me, but that's what I believe. Okay, where we're at. Stockpile. So stockpile of some resources. Within the construction system, there would be three major sectors where real world businesses are developed: commercial, residential, real estate, transportation, and agriculture. So again, this is going to be a city, virtual and the real world. These sectors create revenue and supply chains that service and support Silway's entertainment ecosystem. The ecosystem includes, but is not limited to, businesses such as movie theaters, restaurants, hotels, nightclubs, farms, gas stations, and transportation services. Again, this is a city that's been built. And all this stuff is going to be housed in this city. So they're building something big. This is not something small. This is a big deal. And it's going into the new era of technology. So that's kind of why I'm here. I'm here with this. Ecosystem value tokens and pearls. So the ATL construction system is powered by two classes, which is the EBTs, which I kind of talked about that, which is the land EBT represents virtual land holdings, and mining EBTs represents virtual resource mining. Okay. EBT holders earn dividends in return in pearls. Pearls are on off-DEX, on-chain, in-system currency within City of Atlantus. Land EBT holders receive pearls via monthly dividends in what we call tsunamis, while mining EBT holders receive pearls returns based on investment within the ecosystem. So you have the land EBTs, right, which is paid out monthly, And then you have the mining EBTs, which is paid based on returns based on the investment within the ecosystem. So right now, I can say I have land EBTs, which actually I have. Yeah, I would say they're. They used to be ATL, but they changed the name to EBTs. Yeah. And I get this monthly payout of dividends right now, which is called tsunamis. But I can transfer my land EBTs into mining EBTs if I want to. So there is a scenario. I guess this is where the game theory comes in my eyes, is that there's a chance that mining EBTs could pay more than land EBTs, vice versa. So I guess that's where the game theory comes in. So 1 pearl equals $1, which $1 for $1 for dollar type deal. Pearls can be used to purchase assets and products throughout the COE ecosystem, or they can be cashed out into stables. It's pretty much a stable coin within the ecosystem. Investors who engage in the ATL construction system are virtual builders. As a virtual builder, you can influence real-world construction projects. The pathway to do that begins with purchase of land EBTs. Land EBTs represent fractional ownership of every aspect of COA ecosystem, virtual and real world, wrapped in a generational wealth-driven digital asset. So again, these are considered generational wealth, these land EBTs, and that's kind of what I have. They used to be called ATLs, but they changed the name to EBTs, and I guess they didn't really do away with the name, I'm guessing, because it is the ATL construction system, so they are ATL still, but they created 2 layers up under ATL name and branched them out to EBTs and the mining EBTs. Well, both of them are EBTs, but one is land and one is mining. And this is the price. These prices are not going to be this price forever. These assets are meant to increase in value over time. So just keep that in mind. So if you're interested, I would say if there are any left, now would be the time to buy these, because these are supposed to go up in value over time. You got to also think about what I've been reading over. The things that's going to be coming is going to add value to these. So imagine a city that has all these different aspects of this project and is actually producing everything that it's saying, and it becomes an attractive place. And if it becomes an attractive place, people are going to want these assets, which is going to skyrocket the value of them. And it makes it even more valuable if it gets to the point to where you have to own one of these to get access. And I could see a point to where they have different types of access. You might have, because you have an EBT, you might have a little more private access. But then you could have a public access too. I can see that occurring. Not sure how they're gonna do that, but yeah. But having an EBT does give you more access than not having one, I would say. Your objective as a land EBT holder is to launch one of the 3 different types of virtual mining equipment called mining EBTs. These are offshore construction, sand, dredgers, crude oil rig, or groundwater well. By launching mining EBTs on your land EBT, you begin mining operations. Mining EBT stockpile resources to create virtual construction blocks. Builders are virtual construction blocks. VCBs as investment to the fund of construction of the real world business. Virtual construction blocks are managed by 3 resources stockpile system. And this is the construction side. Well, yeah, construction, you have the construction sand, which is the sand, which is, I would say, the gold. And then you have like a, you have one right here, which is like a blackish color, which is the crude oil. And they probably made it black because it's like more of an oilish color. And then your ground is more like the sand. It's called virtu-real. But this is sand. So I don't know, water, but it's supposed to be water. Anyways, these are the 3 different ones. And the goal is to start production by converting your land EBTs into mining EBTs. And that starts to produce the production side of things when it comes to development. The first is the dune system. We're at 30 minutes. Let's see how much more. Let's finish this up. We'll finish this side up and then we'll. The first is the dune system. It produces virtual sand, which is the VSBs, which are measured in cubic and are used for commercial and residential constructions. The second is the refinery system. It produces virtual fuel blocks, VFBs, measured in liters and used to build gas stations and transportation assets. The third is the aquifer. It produces virtual water blocks, VWBs. VWBs are measured in gallons and used to build water factories and agriculture assets. So based on your land EBTs, you have these three assets that you can convert into to earn off of. And I would say, if you have the ability to, I would say invest in all 3 of them, because all 3 of them have its own use case. And all 3 can be rewarding in its own way. Not financial advice on that, but BTC Industry is COA's industry management and multi-industry workforce development company based in Lagos, Nigeria. BTC trains and deploys personnel to service business throughout COA's ecosystem. Its exclusives, its executives contract and manage all COA's mining operations and construction projects. BTC currently has over 70 employees servicing our professional securities, beauty supplies, and resource mining operation, with plans to grow to over 1,000 employees in the next 36 months as COA grows its business and real estate footprint. So at the current state of this white paper, which was released, I think in January, COA had over 70 employees, and in the next 36 months, they plan to have over 1,000. So they plan on growing the business and bringing more people to help with building this. As a virtual builder, you have a direct role in the real world construction of the project. You place your virtual construction blocks into projects are powered by construction dials, where you go to work and are involved in project management. Based on your virtual building block category, volume, and contributions, you receive compensation for your work. So your compensation is going to be based on the category, which we talked about, the 3 categories. It's going to be based on the volume and how much you contribute. So just keep that in mind. That's going to depend on your compensation for your work. And that's going to wrap it up. The next one, part 3, which is good because we're on the 3rd section. we'll talk about the real world implementation and all that great stuff. So hopefully all this stuff that we talked about in CO8 is interesting to you, and hopefully you check it out. It's an interesting business. I would say at the moment you can consider it a project because they're developing to make this something, but this is a business and they're building something real. This is not no investment that doesn't have any backing, I would say, because they're building something that is going to be used for the real world, digital world. So it's going to gear towards to the ones that like to be in the real world, that don't really care so much about being in the digital world. You'll still be able to experience the real world aspect. But then the ones that like the digital world, they'll be able to experience that also. So great things to come for COA. Make sure you check out all the links below. Again, subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it so that people are aware of COA and what's going on. Follow me on x.com. Let me go to it real quick. x.com, not Twitter no more. Even though we still use the word Twitter, and the domain for Twitter is still available. But follow me here on x.com and check me out. I try to tweet as much as possible, but get a little busy sometimes. But hopefully this video was informative. Hopefully you got some kind of value out of it. I will catch you next week for another part 3 of COA. Hope you have a great weekend and enjoy your weekend. Peace out.